Yang meets the press. So Andrew Yang was on Meet the Press this morning with Chuck Todd. And I'll leave a video down below. I'm just going to go over my notes and what I have to say. But you can watch the whole video. I'll leave the link down below. But this is just frustrating. Yang talked all about his talking points. He's been talking about for months now. I don't feel I need to go over them with you. You know them by now. You know about the trickle-up economy. You know about Amazon. He even whipped out the Yang Claw. You know about the Yang Claw. Okay. Pretty standard Andrew Yang talking points and whatnot. But the problem with this interview was Chuck Todd in his interviewing style. It was just a condescending tone. Through at least half of it or more, he had this condescending tone towards Andrew Yang. I don't even know if he was aware of it. I'm pretty sure he is aware of it, actually, the more I think about that, because his corporate overlords probably want him to antagonize Andrew Yang, because Andrew Yang is an outsider. He's not a part of the Democratic establishment. MSNBC is the establishment. Okay, so his corporate masters were probably like, give it to him good. Stick it to this Yang guy. We don't like him. Something along those lines. But the condescending tone was just overwhelming. It irks me so bad. He was talking under his own breath. Like, Chuck Todd was just muttering under his own breath. After he asked a question, Andrew Yang would start answering it, and Todd would just be muttering to himself. Muttering the answer Andrew's supposed to give. Or I don't know, just incoherently. Who does this? I mean, there was even a time when Todd interrupted Yang. It was just non-stop disrespect, and his style was antagonistic. And listen, you're a journalist, ask hard questions. There's nothing wrong with asking hard questions. No one's talking about that. I'm talking about the tone. I'm talking about the way you present these questions to a national audience on television, okay? This isn't a private conversation. You're on TV. You're presenting this to millions of people. It matters how you present this conversation. And here's another thing. I went back and watched some other Chuck Todd interviews, and they're nothing like this. I went back and watched some Pete Buttigieg interviews, Kamala Harris interviews, and they're, he's asking hard questions, yes, but his tone, his demeanor is not offensive. It's not antagonistic towards these other presidential candidates, but it's just towards Yang. It's just, they have honed in on him. They see him as a threat. It's ridiculous. So that just consumed me the whole time. I'm trying to find something else of substance here. Let me see. Andrew Yang said, he has this talking point that I really like, and he got to say it, so I want to read it to you here. Quote, even when we are talking about impeaching Donald Trump, we are still talking about him, and we are losing, end quote. Basically losing the conversation. I love this, and I believe this too. The more we talk about Donald Trump, the more we give him power, and he steals the limelight, he steals the conversation, where we should be talking about policy and whatnot. I've heard Andrew Yang say this a few times, and I'm glad he got to say that on national TV. Okay, and they ended the interview with the worst of all, trying to smear Andrew Yang as a white supremacist. Chuck Todd said, quote, does it bother you that white supremacists are attracted to your candidacy? That was the last question. They ended on that. These people in the establishment are just shameless. It's ridiculous to believe that Andrew Yang has any... Of course he rebuked him. It's just ridiculous. There's nobody who can take no one should be taking you seriously if you're asking that question. Okay, you want to forget about the tone stuff, whatever. Anyone asking a question to an Asian American and trying to tie them to white supremacy is just an idiot. Chuck Todd is an idiot. But he's being a smear merchant. I know what he's doing. You know what he's doing. He's just trying to smear him. Because if someone serious like Chuck Todd is asking this question, well, clearly it must be a concern. It's not. They're just smearing him. So anyways, that's all I really got out of this. Like I said, I'll leave the video down below if you want to watch the whole thing. But once again, more smearing from MSM, another hit job against an outsider candidate by the mainstream media. It doesn't end. It just doesn't end. Anyways, let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell, and I'll meet you down in the comments.